Why are politicians so pushing for this sort of handing everything back to Aboriginals?
On the turning away.
Well, I don't think that your facts are right, sir.
From the pale and downtrodden.
It's an enormous mythology, and we all know what it consists of. We heard it with, you know, Pauline Hanson and
the words they say which we won't understand.
I just wish it would stop and that people would actually rely on facts.
Don't accept that what's happening.
Racism has a face last night, and you know, it was a 13-year-old girl, but it's not her fault.
Just a case of others suffering.
Unfortunately, it's what she hears, the environment that she's grown up in.
If you're 13, you just don't say that unless you came from an environment where that's been said before.
Or you'll find that you're joining in the turning away.
In front of horrified passengers, they punch him, kick him, spit on him and break his glasses.
It's a sin that somehow light is changing to shadow.
The police lockup in Alice Springs was referred to as the abattoirs because the police so regularly bashed Aboriginal people and so violently that the walls were covered with blood. Not one police officer or correctional services officer was charged.
And it's casting its shroud over all that we've known.
Around 340 Indigenous people have died in custody since the Royal Commission handed down its final recommendations in 1991.
Unaware how the ranks have grown, driven on by the heart of stone. We could find that we're all alone in the dream of the proud.
Do you concede that there are, reasonable law-abiding Muslims that are paying the price for the fear that extremists have caused in the Western world and in Australia?
Tell me, you line up a number of Muslims, who's the good one?
We have about 500,000 Australians in this country of the Islamic faith, and the vast majority of them are law-abiding, good Australians.
On the wings of the night, as the daytime is slurring, where the speechless unite in the silent accord, using words that we find us strange, mesmerized at the light and flame, feeling you in the change from the wings of the night.
And to ridicule that community, to drive it into a corner, to mock its religious garments, is an appalling thing to do.
I'm trying to figure out whether you actually draw a distinction between Muslim extremists and fundamentalism and ordinary mainstream law-abiding Muslims.
Islam is a disease. We need to vaccinate ourselves against that.
No more turning away from the weak and the weary. No more turning away from the coldness inside. Just a word where
believe that the threat is being brought in possibly from Middle Eastern refugees that are coming out to Australia.
I have absolutely no evidence to suggest there's a connection between refugees and terrorism. We're not interested in religion, we're interested in whether an individual is exhibiting or practising violence.
We just want to immigrate to Australia. All the good stuff, all the good stuff. Now fuck off, you motherfucker. Put your fists up in Greece, what?
Come close, don't come
Where do you
close.
come
You're a
from?
dirty piece.
Greece?
Go
back to Greece,
Go
you
back.
fucking
Go back to
what?
where you're sitting and you'll be alright. Go back.
Dirty cunt.
Go back.
You're a dirty cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prejudice and fear will never build a community, they will only tear one apart. No country has ever made itself safer by attacking a particular ethnic minority.
Hey, you're a Muslim. Really? Okay, gee whiz.
How can I argue that Pauline Hanson peddles prejudice and fear? Because I look at what she says.
Your racist views are out of date. Don't want no one to immigrate. It's time that you stop spreading hate, Pauline.
And I remember the debate in the 90s when we were the ones who were swamping Australia and we were the ones who were going to make this a dreadful place.
I'm Fitzroy with a stars. I'm wanging in 93. I'm mundane, I'm casual. Man, that far inside of me. I'm Adam Goods and Adam should be applauded when he stands up. You can look to us from that time stuff. I'm Paddy Mills with the last shot. I'm Goon. I'm marching. I'm everything that you ask me. I'm everything that you can't be. I'm the dead heart's heartbeat.
The children came back. The children